In front of me is a QILIVE 5039D, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks that I can do on this device. So we're going to begin with the hiding the notch, and as you can see there is a, I guess you can call it either a teardrop or U-notch, whatever it is, it's still a notch, and some people just don't like it. So to hide it, you would go into the settings, and we're going to go to the status bar. Under the display, I think, yep, then status bar, and from here style, and you have the option to hide it. So what it actually does is just makes the background black and inverts the color so you can still see it. So that's the first one. Now moving on, we're going to go into the gesture navigation. So we're going to go into display where we are already, but just 2 steps back, and from here you'll have navigation bar, so right over here, and you have full screen gestures. Tap on that and it immediately hides the buttons on the back, and you have a nice animation on how they work, so you can scroll through it. But basically the gist of it is on both sides, if you scroll up, it's a back button, and then scrolling from the middle, quick is home, and holding is recent. So just as an example, that's back, that's home, and if I go back to settings, that would be recent if you swipe up and hold. So if you like to have a little bit of a cleaner look to your device and remove those outdated buttons, you can go with the gesture. So moving on, we're going to go into the animation speed, which just simply allows you to increase the animation speed of your entire device. So any kind of thing that you would have to animate, so for instance this up drawer, opening apps where they slide up or closing them when they slide down, you can increase or decrease the animation. So to do it, let's go into the settings again, and from here we're going to go into system, about phone, and then when you have build number, tap on that 7 times. And then you get a message, you are now a developer. So from here we're going to go back, and you just seen there's a new option that has just appeared, developer options. Tap on that, and now we want to scroll down till we see the animate, there we go, window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animation duration scale. Now as you can see, it looks by default they're set already to half speed, so that's fairly nice, but you can also go a little bit further and just completely remove the animation if you want to, and that will just not display any animation. So any kind of time it would take it to do the animation, now it's completely gone and the app should be instantly open. And we can also go drastic in the opposite direction and for instance set it to times 10, which will be 10 times, actually no, 20 times in this case longer than it is by default. So there's the 20 times longer animation. So let's go back to 5, or 0.5, which is in my opinion the best speed actually. So that is how you would change the animation. So moving on, we're gonna go into the making password not visible, which the option is called make password visible, kind of counterintuitive. But just to give you a brief overview of what it does is I'm gonna go to Wi-Fi settings, and from here it works in any kind of field where you put in your password, and when you type in any kind of password, it will always show the latest letter for about a second or two, and that's second or two too long in my opinion for a password that you can see any kind of letter visible. So to hide that, you'd go into the settings, and from here we're gonna go into security and location, and you have the option make password visible. Disable that sucker. And now if we go back to Wi-Fi and go into typing in a password, you won't be able to see any kind of letter anymore in there. So just a nice way of protecting your password a little bit further than the device wants you to. Now moving on to the last option, it's going to be the screen pinning, and this is another option to secure your device. Now at the moment I don't think I have any passcode on. Let's just see. Yep, there's no passcode, So this works way better with a passcode, I will say, and also probably works also way better if you don't have gesture navigations, because you don't actually have buttons. So I'm gonna disable the gesture navigation like so, and we're gonna go back to settings actually again to enable the screen pinning. So to do it, we're gonna go again into security settings for security and location. There we go, and you have screen pinning, and it looks like it's already enabled. But in here you also have the lock device when unpinning, and this is something that I'd advise on selecting to be on, assuming you already have a screen lock, so pin, pattern, password, any one of those. Otherwise, if you don't have it, you will have to set it up if you want to have that on. And what it does is, number one, we're gonna pin a window. So I just make a hypothetical situation. Someone wants to make a call on your device, and you want to lock them only to be able to view the dialer app, so they can call, and that's about it. And normally, if you give someone, they can just close the app. But what screen pinning allows you to do is, you can see right here, where is it, pin, where's the pin option? Oh, there it is, it's barely visible, there we go. So you would pin it, which was kind of cut out for some reason, but you can now see screen is pinned. And if I try to leave the screen, I actually won't be able to, but unfortunately for this, it gives you a long press back and recent button to disable it. Now that's where the second part of locking the device when unpinning comes in really handy. So normally if someone can read, which I'm pretty sure majority of the people can, they will be able to just hold those two and screen is unpinned and they can close it. But if you would have a screen lock and you hold those two buttons, it will just lock your device, and then you will have to put in the pattern to go back to it before you can actually quit the app. So it just adds additional security to it. But this will conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I wanted to share. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.